Hello guys, welcome back to the second video in our introduction to working with multimodal LLM applications using Google Gemini. So in the last video, we looked at how to upload images and then ask questions about the specific images, just like we can do in ChatGPT and stuff like that. So I showed how to do the same thing using Python and Google's Gemini multimodal LLM Vision Pro, right? So Pro Vision, basically, the model is a Gemini generate. I think it's called Vision Pro, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Gemini Vision, Gemini Pro Vision. Okay. So now you're going to go ahead and learn about structured outputs, right? How to work with structured outputs. Basically, we can get structured outputs from different images, and basically we can upload an image and then we can specify which outputs do we want the LLM to respond to us with. That's we can basically keep a structured output and then we can have that run. Okay. So in the beginning video, I showed you a video where we are getting basically information about upload a personal image, and then you get information about the name of the person in the image, their age. That's the project you're going to build finally, right? So I have the two images right here, an image of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, so I hope now the world is at peace because we are using both Ronaldo and Messi images, right? Okay, I don't like the kind of all the argument who is the best, who is the god, and who is all that. Okay, now everybody is a god. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and bring everything together in here. So you can see I have a new folder called structured output. In there I have a folder called images, which contains the image of Messi and the image of Ronaldo, Messi and Ronaldo respectively. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a file right here. I'm going to call this one, sorry, my bad. Go close this up, open up this, and if I'm going to call this lesson underscore 01.py. So good, so that's basically what I want. So this is going to be inside of instead of this structured output folder. So we have one folder in there called images and a file called lesson1.py. Okay, so now let's go ahead and begin coding. So let's go ahead and import all the things that we need to get running. So I'm going to go ahead and import Pydantic. Okay, so I'm going to say from Pydantic I want to import the base model. Okay, so from Pydantic I'm going to import the base model, just like that. Good. So I'm also going to say from Llama-index, dot multimodal LLMs. I'm going to go ahead and import Gemini multimodal. Okay. I'm also going to say from Llama-index dot program. I'm also going to go ahead and import multimodal LLM completion program. I'm also going to say from Llama-index, okay, from Llama-index dot output processor. I'm going to go ahead and import the Pydantic output processor. Okay, that's why we have Pydantic imported, and you see how all that comes together just in a second. So I'm also going to say from Llama-index, I'm also going to go ahead and import simple directory reader that's going to help us to read the image folder that we have there. Okay, I'm also going to say from decouple, I'm also going to go ahead and import config. That's going to help us to read the environment variables. Okay. Okay. So once you have all that done, let's read the environment variables. So Google API key is going to be equals to config, and then finally pass in the Google's API key that you want. So Google underscore API underscore key. Right there. I'm also going to go ahead and set another constant. This constant is going to be I'm going to call it model, the model underscore name that you want to use. So you have learned how to get the model name, so I'm not going to go ahead and show you that. You can check the video. If you don't know how to do that, you can check the video in our you can check the first video in this series whereby we learned how to get the available models. Okay, so I'm going to say Pro Vision, right? So models / Gemini Pro Vision, and I showed you the code on how to retrieve that in lesson 1 of the very first video, how you can retrieve the different available models. So you can check that video out if you haven't. Okay, so once you have that, I'm going to now go ahead and create a class, basically a Pydantic class that can help us get a structured output from the multimodal LLM. So I'm going to create a class. I'm going to call it football. Football player. Yeah, I can call it football player. I can call it anything you want to call it, but I'm gonna call it football player. So it's going to inherit from base models, okay, from Pydantic, and this is going to go ahead and just do the following. So we're going to keep a doc string, right? This is a data model of description of football players. just like that, a football player. Okay, so then it's just going to go ahead and basically get construct the structured output that you want to get back as an output from the LLM. Okay, so for each player, we're going to go ahead and get the nationality of the player, and this is going to be of type string, right? Like if you upload a picture of Ronaldo, you want his nationality to be something like Portugal, right? You want to spell the date of birth, birth, and the date of birth is what you're going to say is going to be a string, right? Okay, and you're going to say the place underscore of the place of birth, and the place of birth is also going to be a Python string, so str. Yeah. Okay, so we're also going to go ahead and get the height of the football player. So height is going to be a float, right? Because it can be maybe 1.87 centimeters or something like that. You're also going to get the weight in kilograms. So the weight underscore in underscore kilograms, and this is going to be a type float, right? It can be maybe 60.7 kilograms. Okay, something like that. Okay, so once that we have that set up, now I'm going to go ahead now and set up the prompt that we need. So I'm going to say prompt underscore template underscore string is going to be equals to the following. So I'm going to have a doc string right here. Okay, so this new line and say give me a summary of the person in the image and return your response with a JSON format, just like that. Okay, so I hope I didn't make any typos right there. So give me a summary of the person in the image and return your response with a JSON format or in a JSON format, whatever works for you. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, and let me try to break this into another line that is not extremely long. Okay, so that's basically the prompt template right there. So once we have that done, we are good to go. So that's basically the prompt template that you need. Good. Okay, now that I have that done, I'm going to write a function that's going to go ahead and get me the structured response. So I'm going to have a function right here. It's going to be called structured. You can call it anything you want, but I'm going to call it structured underscore response underscore Gemini. Okay, so instead of this, you're just going to pass for now. Instead of this function, you're going to take in a couple of arguments. So we're going to take in the output parser, output underscore class. Okay, and it's going to be output class is going to be the football player class that we just created above here. Okay, you're going to use that as a type that you want. It's going to be the output class. Okay, and then you're going to pass the image underscore documents, and it's going to be a Python list. So list, and I need to go ahead and import. Okay, let's use the normal list from here. That also work. And then you can also go ahead and say prompt underscore template string is going to be of type string. Good. You're also going to go ahead and say model underscore name, and the model name is going to be str of type, and by default you're going to have the model. If you didn't specify any model name, you're going to use the default model name which you have here, which is models/Gemini Pro Vision. Okay, good. So that's all we need. Once I have that done, now you can go ahead and actually write the function right here. So I'm going to call it okay, so let me just say Gemini. Okay, get rid of that. So Gemini underscore LLM is going to be equals to Gemini multi-modal. Okay, that's it. And instead of this Gemini multi-modal, I'm going to pass in my API key. API underscore key, and the API key is going to be the API key to basically the API key that you want, which is just the Google API key constant that we have up here, right? Which is just reading the API key from the environment variable. Okay, so we pass in the API key. We also need to pass in the model name. So say model underscore name, and the model name is going to be the model name that we pass in as an argument into this function. That's all we need to do. Good. So once we have that, now we're going to say LLM underscore program, and we're going to be equals to the multimodal LLM completion program dot from underscore defaults. Defaults. You're going to pass in the output underscore parser. So the output parser is going to be equals to the Pydantic output parser. Good. So once you have passed in this, you also need to pass in the output. It takes in the output class. The output I'm going to say output underscore class, and the output class is going to be equals to, sorry, not class like that. You have just says CLS is going to be equals to the output class that we passed in. So it's going to be output underscore class, which is just the variable, that the argument that we pass in right here, the output class. Good. Which is going to be the Pydantic class that we define up here. So the Pydantic output processor is going to take in the Pydantic class in which you want to get the output out of, the output in that format, right? And then finally, you're going to pass in the image underscore document. It's going to be equals to image underscore document, just like that, which is the argument that we pass in right here. Good. So once we have that, I'm also going to go ahead and specify the prompt template string. And there's going to be the template string is going to be prompt underscore template string as well, which is what we passed in here. Okay, good. And then finally, we're going to pass in the multimodal LLM that you want to use. So I'm going to say multi-modal LLM, multi-modal LLM, which is going to be called the Gemini LLM that you just created, which is this right here. Good. So that's all we need. And you can say verbose equals to true to get a verbose output. So verbose, you can say equals to true if you want to, and then you can get the verbose output from that model, from that class. Okay, so once we have that done, we can simply go ahead and say response. Response is going to be equals to the LLM underscore program that we just created above. So LLM program, we call that function or that method, and then we just return the response. Just like that. So that's all we need to do, and we are good to go. So that's all we need to do for that function definition right there. Okay, so now we have that. Now you can go ahead and load in the image and simply call this function. So let's go ahead and do all that. So one of the things that we need is we need to have the class, the output class, which you already defined up here. We need to have an image document. So now let's go ahead and load that image. I'm going to copy that and paste it here. Image document is going to be equals to simple directory reader, and you're going to pass in input underscore directory, and our input directory is first images, just like that. And that's all we need to do. So it's going to go ahead and read all the images from that directory. So we're going to say call the method load data. That's going to load all the data and return to us a Python string that's going to be stored in this image document. Okay, so once you have that, so let me just, you can even keep comments if you want. So this is just load images. Good. Now I have to load images. Now we're going to simply call that function to get a response. Okay, so get response, we're going to say for image document in image documents, right? We're going to call this one by one. You can actually pass this into one go, but I'm going to use basically just a function for this. So I'm going to say structured Gemini. Let's say structured underscore response is going to be equals to structured Gemini response. I'm going to pass in the following. So I'm going to pass in the output class, and this output class is going to be called the football player. That's it, which is just the Pydantic class. You're going to pass in the image URL, image document. I'm going to pass in basically image underscore documents. Basically, you cannot, this is actually a list, so you can also pass, you don't have to actually put this out of a folder. You can just run this in one go. But yeah, that's it. Image document, image. Okay, so image document, that's it. And also you can just go ahead and pass in the prompt underscore template string right here, and it's going to be called the prompt. We're going to pass in the prompt template string that we defined above. So prompt template string, and if I highlight this, you can see we have a definition right here, this prompt template string. That's what you're going to be using. Okay, so good. So once we have that, we can also go ahead and pass in the model name. So model underscore name, and the model name is a model name that constant we have above up there. So model name is this right here, model name. Right, so that's it, right? Yeah, model name. Good. And if you don't pass in the model name, you're going to default to the one that you already read. Okay, so as you can see, we are setting the default here. Okay, so that's all we have, and finally you're going to go ahead and print the structured response. So structured Gemini response Gemini. Okay, so I'm actually calling the wrong thing. So pass this in here. So structured response, and finally we're going to print a structured response. So that's basically how we can get structured output. So let's cover the code one more time. Import the necessary dependencies from Gemini, import Pydantic, get our environment variables, set basically a structured output that you wish to get out of whatever you are prompting the model for. We pass in a prompt right here, just a string prompt, and then we have a function definition. So takes in the class, the images, the prompt template, and then the model name. Creates a Gemini multi-modal, and then pass this into a multi-modal LLM completion program, passing the Pydantic output processor, passing the image, the prompt string, the multi-modal LLM, which is a Gemini multi-modal LLM that you created above here with the vision, how do you call it? It's called models / Gemini Pro Vision. Okay, and then finally pass say verbose is true, and then call that, and then get the response, and then return the response. So now we read all the images, and then we loop through each image, passing each image to our structured response Gemini, which is just a multi-modal LLM program completion program. And then basically get back the output and print the output onto the screen. So good. So let's go and actually run this. Hopefully I don't have any errors in here. So I'm just going to say Python 3. Okay, let me just change directory back into my structured output, and then finally say Python 3 lesson 1, and then run that. So okay, so if I don't have any errors in here, this should run perfectly, and we should get back a list of all a description of all those images that we have. So basically the description of Ronaldo and Messi should tell us the name of the player, which is this basically the name of the player, the nationality. Actually, you can also get the name if you want to. I don't know, I didn't specify the name. You can also get the name if you want to. Specify the date of birth, the place of birth, their height, and then their weight in kilograms. So let's see what to get back. So you can see the first one, which is Ronaldo. See, it's Portuguese. Date of birth is this way. Place of birth is Portugal. The height is 1.78, and then the weight is this in kilograms. And then for Messi is from Argentina. We get the day which Messi was born in, and then the place, Rosario, Argentina. In Argentina, I don't know where that is. The height in meters, and then finally the weight in kilograms is 72 kilograms. Okay, so that's basically the information how to get a structured output from a multimodal LLM application. So guys, that's all I wanted us to discuss in this video. So in the next video, you're going to take all that knowledge that you have learned and combine it, all of them, and build a final project. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in the next video. We're going to basically upload a picture of an individual, get all that individual details, and display it onto the Streamlit applications. That's what we're going to do in the next video. Again, if you enjoyed this video so much, thank you guys so much for watching. All the links to the GitHub repository and all the resources that you are used in this image I use in this video, including the images, are in the description of the video. So just click on that GitHub repository, and that should take to the GitHub repository having all the things that we use, including the code and the different images. So guys, thank you guys for watching so much. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section below. I'll be glad and more than willing to help you. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Keep safe. Again, if you don't know where we got our API keys from, Google Gemini API keys, go back and watch the very first video. I went ahead and show you how to do all that. Okay, so you should get back your API keys, and then everything should work fine. So guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one, and keep safe. Peace.